Hey everyone, welcome back to Bootsec. Today we will talk about the HTTP verb tampering vulnerability. First of all, we will understand what is HTTP verb tampering, and then I will show you a real world demonstration using Burpsuite. If you are into ethical hacking or bug bounty, this is something that you should know. It might not be a critical bug, but it still has a lot of impact. Alright, let's understand what are HTTP methods. When your browser connects to a website, it uses certain verbs or methods like get, post, put, or delete. These are called HTTP verbs or HTTP methods. Let me explain some of them. Get method. This method is used to fetch the data from the web server, like when you are trying to reload a website or maybe trying to visit another page or something like that. In this case, your browser sends a GET request to the server to grab the page content. Second one is POST method. We use this method when we need to send a lot of data to the server, such as submitting a form details are sent to the server using POST method. It means like you are creating an account, your all contact details like email, password, or maybe OTP are sent to the server using this POST method. Another one is PUT method. This method is used to upload some data to the server. For example, you are trying to upload a profile picture to the website. In this way, you are using this PUT method to upload the image. Last one but not the least, this is delete method. This method is usually used to remove or deleting something from the server, like deleting a user or a file or maybe a profile picture. Alright, now we all understood what is the HTTP methods and how it actually works. Now let's learn what is HTTP verb tampering. HTTP verb tampering means changing the HTTP method, for example from post method to get method, and sending this request to the server. If the server does not check this method properly, then the request might be still work. In this case, what's the problem, right? Just think this scenario. Let's say a user can delete their account using the delete method. Now imagine a hacker changes the request to get method or maybe a option method. If the website does not verify the method, it might still delete the profile. This is how attackers can abuse weak validation, and that's the big risk. Here you can see that when a user is using get as a HTTP method, then he is not getting that document and the server is rejecting him and giving him a 403 unauthorized access. But when the same user is trying to change the get method to put method, the server gives the access to the document. This is a clear example of HTTP verb tampering. Now let's do a real world demonstration. To test this vulnerability, I will solve a lab from rootme.org so that you can understand the practical scenario and practice on real targets. Before starting the lab, you will first create an account on this site and sign in. Find the challenge called HTTP Verb Tampering. You will find this lab inside the challenge section from the left bar and inside the web server attack. In this page, you need to find the HTTP Verb Tampering lab. After finding this lab, you need to click on the Start the Challenge button. Here you can see that this has taken us to the direct lab portal. The concept of this site is that if we give the correct username and password, the site will give us the lab password. With this password, we can solve our lab. But we don't know the username and password here, right? And if we are give the wrong credentials, the server give us a 403 unauthorized error message. Now we will connect to our bar suite with this lab URL and change the HTTP method. I opened the Chromium browser in Bob Suite and I paste the lab URL over here. Now before I load the site, I will first turn on the intercept button in my bar suite so that I can capture this request. And here you can see this is the get request. Now we will expand the request attributes option from the inspection section, and we will remove the get text from the method option and write the method we want to use, such as post, put, or etc. Save it and forward the request. From now we will able to change the HTTP method and make the request to the server successfully. I forwarded the request using post method right here, but I could not bypass this request from the server. So I will try to use another HTTP method to try it again. Let's see now if it works or not. Did you see this? I forwarded the request using put method and the server is giving me the lab password. It's mean we have been successfully able to bypass this request and the server gave us the password even we are using the wrong HTTP method. That means the server is not checking the HTTP verse properly, and that's what HTTP verb tampering is. Now how to prevent this attack on your web application? Make sure these validation are set up properly in your web application. For example, allow only valid and regulate HTTP methods such as get and post, and block or ignore unnecessary methods like put, delete, or option methods unless they are needed. Always verify the HTTP method on the server side before processing any request to prevent verb tampering. Alright, now that's all for today's video. Now you understand what our HTTP method verb tampering is and how attackers can misuse it. If you find this video helpful or something new, please leave a comment for next topic.